Imagine you're scrolling through your feed and you see this fiery rhetoric about Afghanistan, about taking something back, and it's got this intense vibe like the heat's being turned up. That's exactly what we're dealing with here, a situation where the stakes feel sky high and the language is bold, almost like a challenge thrown down. The phrase, "we want it back," isn't just a casual remark, it's a demand rooted in a complex history. Afghanistan's been a focal point for global powers for decades. Its rugged terrain, its strategic location, its cultural and political complexities. When someone says they want something back, you've got to ask, what exactly are they talking about? Is it influence, control, resources, or something else entirely? And why the urgency? The right away. Part tells us there's no time to waste, at least in the speaker's mind. It's like they're drawing a line in the sand saying, act now or else. And that, or else, is where things get murky, because when you hear, "you're going to find out what I'm going to do," it's both a promise and a threat. It's the kind of statement that makes you lean in, wondering what's coming next. Now, let's back up a bit and think about the context. Afghanistan's been through a lot. Decades of conflict, foreign interventions, and internal struggles. The US has a long history there, from the post-9/11 invasion to the withdrawal in 2021, which left a lot of questions unanswered and a lot of feelings raw. When someone talks about getting something back, it could tie into that history, maybe a sense of lost influence or unfinished business. But here's the thing, the situation on the ground is complicated. You've got the Taliban back in power, regional players like Pakistan and Iran with their own agendas, and global powers watching closely. So when you hear this kind of tough talk, it's not just about Afghanistan, it's about signaling to the world. It's about projecting strength, maybe even rallying support at home. But what does getting it back actually look like? That's the million-dollar question. Let's pivot to the idea of action. The original clip hints at a reluctance to spell out specifics. Like when someone asked about putting US troops on the ground, the response was, "We won't talk about that." That's telling, right? It's like they're keeping their cards close, not tipping their hand. But the message is clear: negotiations are happening, or at least demands are being made. We're talking now to Afghanistan, the speaker says, which suggests some kind of dialogue, maybe behind closed doors. But the tone, it's not exactly diplomatic. It's more like, "do what we want or you'll regret it." That kind of rhetoric can escalate things fast. It's heat, pure and simple. Heat in the words, heat in the intent, and heat in the potential fallout. And when you keep hearing that word, heat, it's like a drumbeat building tension, making you feel like something's about to pop off. So, what's at stake here? For one, there's the human element. If we're talking about something or someone being taken back, it could involve lives, like a hostage situation or a rescue mission. The name Burnham came up in the original context, and while it's not clear who or what that refers to, it feels personal. It feels like there's a specific goal in mind, something tangible. But beyond that, there's the bigger picture, geopolitics. Afghanistan's a chessboard, and every move matters. If the US or another power pushes too hard, it could spark conflict, not just locally, but regionally. Neighbors like China, Russia, and Iran are watching, and they've got their own interests. A misstep could ripple out, affecting alliances, trade routes, even global stability. And let's not forget the Afghan people who've been through enough. Any action, whether it's diplomatic pressure or something more direct, impacts them first. Now let's talk about the "if they don't do it" part. That's where the imagination starts running wild. What happens if Afghanistan, or whoever's on the other side of this, doesn't comply? The speaker's not saying, but the implication is heavy. It could mean sanctions, diplomatic isolation, or something more kinetic like military action. But here's the catch: military moves in Afghanistan are a hard sell. The US spent 20 years there, lost thousands of lives, spent trillions, and left with mixed results. Going back in, even for a specific objective, would be controversial. That's probably why the speaker dodged the question about troops on the ground. It's a hot potato. Nobody wants to commit to that publicly unless they have to. But the vagueness, that's strategic, it keeps everyone guessing, keeps the pressure on. Let's zoom out and think about the audience. Who's this message for? Sure, it's directed at Afghanistan, but it's also for the folks at home. Voters, supporters, maybe even critics. Tough talk plays well in certain circles. It's a way to show strength, to say, we're not backing down. But it's a gamble. If you make a big promise like, we're getting it back, you'd better deliver, or you lose credibility. And if you're too vague, people start filling in the blanks themselves, which can lead to rumors, speculation, even panic. That's why this kind of rhetoric is such a tightrope walk. You've got to sound tough but not reckless, confident but not overcommitted. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this: words matter, especially when they're this charged. When someone says, we want it back, and we want it back soon, it's not just about Afghanistan, it's about power, pride, and maybe a bit of redemption. But it's also a reminder of how fast things can escalate when the heat gets turned up. So, what do you think? Are we on the brink of something big, or is this just posturing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay in the loop on this story, hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It helps us keep bringing you these deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.